morning, YouTube. It's December 20th, Sunday, I think it's the 20th. We are headed out on our field trip. We're going to go see Dad today in his shop, and he's going to show us some things, and we're going to exchange some Christmas gifts. These are not traditional gifts, mind you. Kind of, what do we got? Fire extinguishers and a furnace and drill bits. And I got the Burns heater, lead smelter. And then Dad's got a transformer for me, and I don't know what else he's got. But anyways, we're heading down the road, and we'll be at Dad's here pretty soon. And then we'll see you again.
So hey Don, what are we going to be filming today? What are we recording at Dad's?
So Dad is modifying, I don't know what they call these heaters, these kerosene heaters. I don't know.
Torpedo heaters?
Torpedo heaters, that's it, yes. And he's, I guess I don't know if anybody's ever seen inside of these things or how they work, but they've got an air pump in them. And I guess the air pump lifts you can use kerosene, jet fuel, I guess it runs on different kinds of fuels. And so what Dad is doing is changing the pumps or using compressed air to modify how the thing works. How it works, I don't know. He can control. I think he says if he puts more air in them, that they burn cleaner and not so much smoke. So he's got a couple different ways that he's doing that, and I guess he's going to show us that. And then I know we got to do another segment too. I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll come up with something cool. There's so many things there.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's great.
Did an intro too as they're coming over, and I told people I was coming over to Dad, and so we're over at Dad's, and he's going to show us. This is
Torpedo heater modification, redneck style.
Redneck style. Okay. And you said that you got this from a local vendor that
The
sells
local scrapyard.
Scrapyard. Okay. All right. The local scrapyard. And what was wrong with this?
The air pump is no good.
The air pump. So can you kind of tell us how these things work? What just kind of explain how they work normally when you buy them.
Well, the air pump works in conjunction with the nozzle that it siphons the fuel.
It's got I think you said it like a Venturi, right? Where it
Venturi.
uses the air pressure, the air pump.
Yeah, this thing here, this nozzle is the whole secret right here. This recessed nozzle where the fuel comes out the center and then the air comes out around the side in a cone, creates a vacuum. As a matter of fact, I've measured it. It's I think mine was 3 inches of mercury, which relates to about 1.5 pounds pressure if you look at it backwards. It's really sucks. It's really 1.5 pounds of pressure less than atmospheric, okay. Which lets atmospheric pressure press fuel in the tank up through the hole.
So the air coming around the nozzle actually sucks the fuel out of the tank?
Sucks the fuel out of the tank by creating a negative pressure at the tip.
Okay.
Then atmospheric pressure on the fuel in the tank pushes the fuel into the nozzle. And the engineering on the nozzle with the fuel and the amount of air and the size of the combustion chamber, in my opinion, is the real engineering on this thing, and it's pretty amazing.
Go ahead.
Because I've tried to make these things for a long time, never could do it. Got a lot of smoke all the time.
All right. So, and this is a spark plug. I think you told me before that it just continually sparks all the time.
Yes, this is the thing that ignites the fuel.
Okay, and this looks like just like a regular car spark plug or something.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so there's a car spark plug in these things.
Yeah.
And then, so you have an air pump here taken apart, right?
Oh yeah. This is the failures.
Now, is this what was wrong with this one, or?
Not this one, but this one I can't even get apart because the screws are all so rusted I can't even get a wrench on them.
All right.
But for the people that do these videos, they've showed you this rotor, and these are the little 4 vanes that go in it. And I worked with this thing for days, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get over 2.5 pounds of pressure out of it. And the instructions call for 3. And so I know you can buy new parts for them, but I don't like spending money on stuff that's going to fail again. So I thought maybe what I'd do is I'd just get my own air supply, where I have a multi-uses, and I converted that to this.
Okay. And what is this?
This is a small.
I was just asking about the fuel we're running, asking if it was kerosene or what, and it says that we're running diesel fuel in this. And you were going to show us something about the diesel fuel?
Well, I'm running old diesel fuel, but I've kind of noticed it seems like it runs better. I used to thought that if you cut the fuel back, you would, it burns better and easier and light better. But it seems to be backwards. It seems like the more fuel you got in there, when it does light up, it's like an explosion, and you got heat to vaporize all that fuel.
Okay.
It seems like it's the heat and the temperature in that combustion chamber that gives you the clean burn.
Okay.
And you need lots of fuel.
Okay.
A little bit more than factory recommendations, in my opinion.
Was there anything unique about this? You said this diesel fuel is 15 years old.
Yeah.
Does that look like diesel fuel today, you think?
Well, I didn't know. I was afraid it might not work.
Oh, okay. Oh, but it would work fine.
But I've had a half a drum back here for 10 years. I've been wanting to get rid of it.
You got free. Yeah, you got a bunch of oil, might as well use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was saying, mine kind of really stinky, and I think I'm running kerosene in mine.
Like I say, I think you got to make sure that nozzle's clean.
Make sure the nozzle's clean.
And I'll give you a demo on that.
Okay.
There's other. Oh, you're not recording now.
No.
Oh shit, I just pushed one.
That's fine. There's other.
Woo! That's nice.
Wait, are you too warm now? You want him to
Yeah.
shut? Dad, if you're okay, she wants you to shut it off.
That's
are you
hot.
gonna let it warm up first?
Are you? No. No.
You're not cold anymore?
Well, yeah, this is 150,000 amp factory.
Okay.
So I'm figuring I might be about 175 on this unit.
Okay. All right.
And what you can do, I've discovered, I don't know whether others would find the same thing or true, that when you set the air pressure a little bit higher than factory recommendations, these things really work good.
And by good you mean like, because I know I have one of these at home. I don't use it a whole lot. It has it puts out a lot of smoke, in my opinion.
Yes, but that's the problem I had with them too. The only thing you have to be wary of is that nozzle cannot be clogged, either fuel or air-wise. But in my experience with this thing, if that nozzle is clear, fuel and air-wise, you up the pressure. Like I think this one, the recommended pressure is 6.2. I run this one at about 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
And as you will see, we'll turn it on and I'll show you. You only get the small amount of smoke when you start it up, and then you just watch for yourself. Here we go.
Okay, and before, well, it's gonna when the torch comes on, it'll be pretty noisy. So I know you've got it hooked up to this, so maybe you could explain what we'll see.
Well, that's more of a complicated idea.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I do though. Is the whole thing is on an auto. You record?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The whole thing is on an auto transfer, and you can watch the gauges. When I start it, I have to start it at full voltage to make sure the transformer ignites the fuel. But then after I get it started, I can crank the voltage down to about 80 volts, and it still seems to work okay.
And
As we will now. It's set.
It's set. Okay. This is auto transformer. Is this a 110 or 220 or
That's
what
a
is
220, 35 amp.
Okay. Is it? And when you set it, you're just cranking it up to half voltage, 110.
Well, it's set at 125 right now when I flip the switch.
Okay.
And you can watch the gauge. This will go to 125, 120 or 125. This will peg at 10 and then drop back to 9. And then I'm going to decrease the AC voltage of the whole unit by about 40 volts.
Okay.
And the thing will still run. You ready?
Oh, why would you do that? Just to save electricity, or?
I'm trying to save power and try to keep from burning the transformer and burning the motor out by
Because they
supplying more power to that motor than it actually needs to do its job.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah. Okay.
So
So
you
let's
watch,
see the demo.
you can watch me do this. I can cut the power. Watch this. It's 125. I can cut this all the way back down until this begins to stall the motor, you can see the intake go back up. That's slowing down, that's too low. So you come back up, and you can see I can run this unit at about 80 volts. The pressure, the pump pressure, and the torpedo heat. People that really like it in Arkansas, and 8.5 pounds of pressure, 8 or 9 pounds of pressure ain't enough for you. This beer pump will go to 15, which I will now give you a sample. To get a little more out of their torpedo heater.
There you go.
Arkansas Don.
Arkansas Don. There you go, Bob.
Right on the target.
Yeah, so he's going to show us about the Venturi or the jet or whatever?
Yeah, the fuel, the nozzle.
The fuel nozzle, okay.
Like I say, other people on YouTube have shown this design too. But like I say, this is your nozzle.
Okay.
The center hole is where the fuel comes out.
Okay.
And the little veins on the outside are where the air is coming through this thing. Through this, if you can visualize, I don't know if I'm visual. The air is coming through here, all around through here, up, and coming through these slotted veins on the outside.
Okay.
Forcing it into a cone right in front of the fuel nozzle.
Okay. And
it draws the fuel out. And if you're having problems, you got to make sure that that's clear and the air are clear.
Okay, make sure everything's
because
clean.
If they're clogged up, it will not work right. And be careful when you, I hate people that give me safety and protection shit. Don't lose this part like I do when I drop screws all the time.
I don't a lot of screws myself. So you can just set that in there to put it back.
Set that in there.
Okay.
Like so.
Okay.
And then this screws down right on top of it. Make sure you don't get it cockeyed like I have a few times. You got to keep it centered. As you can see, the little holes in the center of the big one in the recess.
Yeah.
And then this is the two-chamber nozzle that goes into. The rear one is fuel, and this is the air.
Okay.
And the air comes in around through here.
Okay.
And the fuel goes in through there.
And that's the real magic of these things.
The real engineering is in this nozzle, right? Something I have not been able to do, and I have jury-rigged one heck of a lot of things. Not this, though.
Awesome. All right.
The one that we're messing around with these air holes here.
Is this that style there?
Yeah.
See the white one there?
Yeah.
This is this style here. Okay. So this is the style of burner on that.
Right. And the guy had cut 3 of these things out.
Okay.
That's why it took me a long time to figure out why this one's heating up on one side but not the other.
You mean in actuality he did? You're not talking about a YouTube video. You're saying when you took this one apart, the 3 of these veins were cut out.
The 3 of these veins were cut out, and he had clamps with pieces of metal covering 3 of these holes up. And it was working pretty good for a while, but then it quit working.
Okay.
And then I had to go back in there and start trying to figure out why it didn't work, because I had to make it work.
Well, in a scrapyard, you said that you'd picked up a transformer. You said you'd had the the white one here for 3 years, and then just recently you found another one that had the good parts to make it work.
Well, no, I found the transformer 3 years ago. That's been under the tarp for 5 or 10.
Okay. Okay. Is it your plan to put this in there, or are you going to leave
No,
it?
no.
Okay. So, but you were saying that it worked for a while, that it quit working. What did you do?
Well, I went back to trying to go back to the factory specs on it.
Okay.
And
But this was modified, right?
oh, I need to tell you guys about some other problems too.
Okay.
Some of them will work right without the top cover on,
Okay.
and some won't, and sometimes they won't work right without the top cover on.
Okay.
So when you're doing your experiments, if it ain't working right without the cover on, after you do all your adjustments, you may need to slip the cover back on there, because sometimes you need a specific fan flow, because a little bit of the fan that's blowing all the heat is blowing into the combustion chamber
All right.
also.
I can already say, guys, this is not for home purposes. Do not do these things at home. We are professional. We are trained professionals.
Yeah,
here.
what's it called? Disclaimer?
Yeah, this is our disclaimer. You should not be modifying any of these devices. And I will actually put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video in case somebody starts it without watching the whole video. And then halfway through you go, oh, now you tell me.
Yeah, and also, are you still recording?
Yeah.
The people need to do, when I do all my experiments with this thing, the thing you got to really remember first is you don't want fuel and smoke all over the place. You get smoke if it's hot.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't ignite when it's hot, you get lots of smoke.
Okay.
When I do all my experiments, I pull the hose off the fuel tank
Oh.
when I'm playing with the fan or
Okay.
anything else. And then when you do your momentary experiments, you plug the fuel hose back into the fuel tank, make sure you got ignition, and if you don't, you pull that hose back off of there.
One of the dangers would be have the fuel laying in there and unburnt.
Right. Well, that's what happens. That's why the flame outs. Flame out works on that one, but it don't work on that one.
Is that a safety thing built into these?
Yeah, it's the flame out is so that the thing turns off and quits pumping fuel if the fire goes out.
Okay. I think mine has maybe these all have them. Mine have the if it goes off center, like if, I don't know, 10 degrees off.
Balance.
Yeah, I think mine, if you like, if you pick it up, because mine's got a handle on the top, it's smaller than these.
Yeah.
But if you pick it up and you move it, and you take it kind of off, center line, and 10 degrees or something, it'll just shut off.
Oh, it will.
Yeah, mine does that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, these are different with the one. Okay. Well,
I don't think this one had one. The safety codes on the side of this thing say 1982, I think.
I remember when we were a kid and we talked about this, I don't know, 6 months ago. You had a thing called, I thought you called it a salamander, and it was the kerosene burner, and it was like a big, I don't know, like a 10-gallon bucket.
Up there.
You have it? Okay, well, you don't have to dig it out, but, and I went and looked for one of those recently, and they don't sell them anymore.
They're illegal.
They're illegal, right? And I just remember it's really cool because it's just like a bucket of kerosene with a stack, and then there's
Like a grate on top.
well, it's got like a regular, I don't know, maybe a 6 or an 8-inch smokestack.
It's a 10-gallon tub with
Right.
about a 6-foot chimney with louvers in the side.
And you just light the top of the
Fuel.
kerosene on fire.
Right.
Oh, jeez. I think I've seen those in basements back in the 80s. Yeah.
Well, I don't, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you have.
I don't
They're
know.
mainly used to keep archers warm in California,
Okay.
and they can still use them under under extreme circumstances. But other than that,
Yeah.
other than extreme circumstances and in general use, they're not sold anymore.
You had one of those in here.
Yeah.
I remember heating
It's still up there too.
it makes a real kind of like a popping noise, like a
Like a
That's pretty
Were
good.
you here when we put the 10-foot chimney on it one time?
I don't know. I just remember the thing glowing red hot. That's what I remember. The seal's just glowing and glowing.
great.
That was memories.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that concludes the first part to the field trip to Dad's. I've got 3 more parts in this. I have 3 more segments in this video, but I just wanted to close out. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and leave some comments. All right. Thank you very much.